Hey, what's happening everybody? Welcome back to my channel. So today I got another review and we're gonna be looking at the new MicroJib lineup. So what I have here is the MicroJib XL, the MicroJib 2, and the MicroJib Flow. Now real quick before I get into this review, I did get a lot of test shots on my last ski trip and I used all these three products here, and if you're interested in checking that out, I have a link right up there, and as well as a giveaway for the MicroJib Flow. So if you're interested in that, just go check that out. But for the meantime, just stay here. We're gonna be doing this review and yeah, let's get right into it. So let me just break down what these MicroJib poles are. So yes, they are selfie poles. Yes, they are extendable, but what makes them unique and different from any other pole is that if you twist the handle, you could pan the GoPro around full 360 degrees. Not only can you get panning shots, you can actually mount it on its side and get tilting shots so you can get it pointing up and down. Now when the XL version's collapsed, it's 22 inches, and when the MicroJib 2 is collapsed, it's 16.5 inches. So the MicroJib XL is extendable up to 5 feet, and the MicroJib 2 is extendable up to 33.5 inches. Last summer I reviewed the MicroJib 1, and the MicroJib 2 and the XL are definitely a step up from the previous version. The rotation is much smoother, and it's a lot easier to switch between pan and tilt mode. So I have the XL version here and it's in pan mode, so I'm gonna hold this here and then just twist it to the left and it's gonna come off. And then you'll notice on its side you have the tilt position, so I'm gonna twist that on here. There it is. So now it is in tilt mode. Cool. So same thing goes for the MicroJib 2. Works the same exact way. So there's actually a screw on the end of the MicroJib, and if you tighten that all the way and you twist the handle, the GoPro's not going to spin around that smooth. So what you want to do is unloosen the screw on the end here by 1.5 turns, and when you twist the handle, the GoPro will spin around much smoother. Now, another thing you can do is if you do have the screw on the end loose and you are riding around or doing whatever you're doing, you can actually push down on here. It's like a grip, and the GoPro will be very still and it's not going to move around in your hand. It's not going to twist around. Like I mentioned earlier, I did take the MicroJib poles and the MicroJib Flow on my recent ski trip, and I didn't have any issues. I'd have to say that my favorite pole here for skiing would have to be the MicroJib XL, just because of how crazy wide the shots were. I really liked how they came out, and I also got some really cool pictures. So for this shot, I'm using the MicroJib XL, and I have the MicroJib set in pan mode, so you can see I'm just twisting my hand, and the camera's gonna pan around, and you also get the sense of distance on how much you can capture in your shot. And keep in mind, I'm using 1440p mode, so the shot is actually much wider than it looks. Now for this next shot, I'm also using the MicroJib XL, but this time in tilt mode. So what I did was I started out low, and as I brought the MicroJib up high, I tilted the GoPro down to get sort of like an aerial view of Diana getting up. Again, I'm using the MicroJib XL in tilt mode, and what you can do is get these really cool transition shots. So you have it facing towards you, and then you could flip the camera in your point of view to see what you're seeing in front of you. Now I'll explain how to get these shots later on in this review. Like I was saying earlier, the MicroJib XL is definitely going to be my favorite pole for skiing just because of how wide the shots are. I got my whole body in the shot and I really love that. Now what I was doing here was the thumb screw on the end was loosened so I could easily pan the GoPro around. But what I'm doing right here in this shot is holding down the grip so that the GoPro doesn't move, and it's doing a pretty good job at keeping the camera still. And if I want, I could just go in and twist it whenever I want and just get an angle from the forward point of view or go right back to me. Now for these next few shots, I'm using the MicroJib 2, and there's really no difference between the MicroJib 2 and the XL in terms of functionality, but the only difference is the length of the pole. So like I said, it all depends on what kind of shots you really like. For me personally, I would prefer the XL for skiing or snowboarding, but it all comes down to what you like.
Dude, you okay? Oh yeah, buddy. You're going so fast.
So for this shot, again, we're using the MicroJib 2, and I kind of wanted to get a low angle shot, so I put it into tilt mode and had it as low as I could and point the GoPro up slightly. And you can see that pretty much almost my whole body is in the shot, so this gives you an idea on what kind of shots you can capture with the MicroJib 2. Now, the awesome thing with the MicroJib poles is that they are waterproof. You can take them underwater. The only thing you have to remember is if you're taking it into salt water, you kind of want to wash it off with fresh water and let it dry. And it's recommended that you dry it while fully extended. Now, with the MicroJib Flow, this is extendable up to 23 inches. All you do is twist on the top here and pull it out, and it's fully extended. And then you want to twist it to the right to lock it in, and you get a nice selfie pole while you're in the water, and it floats, so you're not going to lose it. There's actually an orange tip at the bottom here, so this actually floats like this, so you'll actually see the orange tip there, and it's really noticeable. And each of these poles come with a wrist strap, so you'll definitely be safe. You're not going to drop it. So the MicroJib Flow is definitely compact. You could definitely store that in your backpack or a case. Now, when it comes to the MicroJib XL, it is big. It's a little harder to travel with. Now, the MicroJib 2 is definitely much more compact compared to the XL version. So it all comes down to what you need. Now, we did take these 3 underwater as well at the pool, and they were fully functional underwater, the XL and the MicroJib 2. The Flow was fine. It floated. I didn't lose it, so it's still here. So that's excellent. So yeah, the MicroJib XL and the MicroJib 2 are both waterproof, so you can take them underwater, and they work perfectly fine, just like they do above water. Now, the only thing with the XL version, it is a bit bigger, so when you are swimming underwater, it's a little harder to work with, but it's still definitely possible. And now here I have the MicroJib 2, using it underwater, panning it, and didn't realize this guy was going to be in the shot. And now just taking a quick look at the MicroJib Flow. Yeah, it floats. There was no issues there. And a cool thing that you can do is that you can let it float and you could kind of swim past it and get a cool shot that way. So a cool transition that you could do with the MicroJib is to have it in the tilt position, and what you want to do is hold the handle, but don't twist the handle. What you want to do is actually twist the pole. So you see I have the GoPro pointing in the forward direction. Now if I twist the pole, the GoPro will face towards me. So you can do a quick transition to like selfie style, twist the pole, and then you go into a POV kind of style. So everything about these poles are great. There's nothing wrong with them. They work as advertised. It takes some practice to get the shots down right. You do need some practice, so just keep at it and you'll definitely get some cooler shots as you work with it a little bit more. So yeah, overall I'd have to say that the MicroJib XL and the MicroJib 2 are some definitely cool poles to check out if you're in the market for one, as well as the MicroJib Flow if you need something that's waterproof as well as something that floats and it's extendable. But yeah, that's it for this review. I hope you guys found it helpful. Just keep in mind down in the description I have a link to the MicroJib poles and the MicroJib Flow. MicroJib does have a sale going on right now, so it'd be cool to get in on that before the prices go back up. But other than that, I hope you guys found this helpful, and I'll see you in my next video.